Seriously. I promise. It doesn't even hurt.
Hello, friends. In this video, we will talk about animals that can live even after they die. It is said that the animal at number 1 can even survive a bomb blast. So, watch the video till the end, and you'll be surprised to find out who it is. Have you ever thought about what happens to us after we die? Maybe there is nothing after death for us humans. However, that's not the case with animals. You won't believe that some animals live even when they are long dead. Isn't that amazing? So keep watching the video to learn about the animals who live after death. Number 10. Flies. If we completely freeze a living creature, it's definitely going to die. But flies, on the other hand, can come back to life after being frozen if we give them enough heat. You must have seen the famous magician David Blaine doing these magic tricks with flies, where he brings dead flies back to life with just the touch of his hands. Do you think he can do that because he really has superpowers? Well, you will be surprised to know, but that's not what really happens. Here's what he actually does. He thaws the frozen flies with his warm hands and breath until the flies are warm enough to fly away. But this unique ability of the fly is not the reason why it's on this list. The most astounding ability of the flies is that some female flies can continue to live even when their head is cut off. They can even fly, walk, and preen. Number 9. Chickens. Have you ever heard the phrase, running around like a headless chicken? It's true after all. Chickens really can run around without their heads. Is it because chickens are zombies? No, the truth is, it happens because of the butcher's mistake. Knowing how to properly chop off a chicken's head is very crucial. The thing is, the central nervous system of a chicken is very different from humans. Some of the main functions of the body are not dependent on the brain, but the brain stems certain parts. It means that if the head is chopped too high, only the forebrain comes off and the brain stem is left behind. Due to this, chickens can move and breed without a head. They can't eat though, so they will certainly starve to death after some days. A case like this happened when a farmer failed in slaughtering the chicken properly. The chicken was called Mike the Headless Chicken. He died after 18 months. Number 8. Scorpions. Scorpions are very adaptive in nature. They can live for years without food and survive in extreme temperatures. Their metabolism rate is very low, so they can live for a year just by eating a single insect. Do you think we can live for a year by eating just one meal? Isn't that too extreme? But scorpions are way ahead of us in that matter. The freezing experiment once was done on a scorpion too. The scorpion was first frozen in extreme temperature, and then after thawing, it came back to life and lived normally. It did not even get injured. Maybe this is the reason scorpions are not extinct yet. At this rate, they may outlive even us humans. Number 7. Flatworms. Have you ever come across earthworm stories? People used to say that if you divide an earthworm into halves, the tail part will grow a head and the head part will grow a tail, creating 2 earthworms. Isn't that interesting? But this has been proven wrong. However, if you put a flatworm in place of earthworms, the stories become true. Flatworms are regeneration experts. If we cut them into 10 pieces, 10 new replicas of those flatworms are created. The scientists of the University of Nottingham, in an experiment, created 20,000 replicas from a single worm. According to them, these flatworms can remain alive forever if they don't get sick or don't get into accidents. Number 6. Salamanders. Life is precious. We all want to live forever. But you will be surprised to know how this reptile clings to life even after obvious death. Salamanders live a long life. At some point, they were even called immortal. Some people used to think that salamanders are magical. Their ability to regenerate after any part of their body is amputated is unmatched. After regenerating, the parts of their body become as good as new and work just like before, sometimes even better than before. This happens because they possess a special protein that helps in cell replication. Humans also possess this protein, but in a very less quantity, and it helps in healing wounds. So, are you wondering if we can also regenerate our severed body parts? Well, not yet. But who knows? Scientists are still experimenting on salamanders to see if their abilities can benefit us in the future. Number 5. Frogs. Frogs can freeze their whole body in the winters. There's an antifreeze inside their cells, which they produce to protect their internal organs from cold. When their body is frozen, the frogs can't breathe and their heartbeats stop. But they remain alive the entire time, and when the season changes, they return to their normal state by thawing. One more interesting feature of the frogs is that they can stay alive without their brains. Now, doesn't that sound impossible? Like who can stay alive without a brain? No one. But the frogs are an exception. In an experiment, scientists removed the brain from a frog's head, but it still continued to act normally. This happens because their reflexes are very strong. Quite fascinating, isn't it? Number 4. Octopuses. Many people go to South Korea to have their traditional dish known as sanakji. It consists of the chopped moving tentacles of the octopus. Now, if you're eating a chopped animal, isn't it supposed to be dead? And if it's dead, then it can't move, can it? Well, octopuses are different. No matter how many parts you chop them into, they continue to move. Is it because they have supernatural powers? No, that's not it. It happens because their central nervous system is quite different from other species. 75% of their nerve cells are present in their tentacles, not in the brain, and they continue to react to the stimuli even if they are not in connection with the main brain. Their tentacles can continue to move up to a week after they die. Number 3. Snakes. Do you think it's logical to touch a snake? But what if the situation asks for it? If you come across a highly venomous snake, what would you do? Well, there are 3 options. You can either run, freeze at the scene, or cut off its head. Cutting of its head would seem to be a good option, but do you think you will be safe after doing that? Well then, think twice. Because even if you cut off a snake's head from its body, its head will continue to move and it can bite you and put venom inside your body. This is because all the essential parts remain intact in its head, even if it's chopped off from the body. There are heat-sensitive pits present on both sides of the snake's face. It helps the snake to sense danger. If you are close enough, it can sense you and attack you like a zombie. It can continue to do so even after hours of the snake's death. So next time, think before cutting off a snake's head. Number 2. Turritopsis. Turritopsis dohrnii is the scientific name of a jellyfish. It's the only species that has been given the name biologically immortal. They can save themselves from dying. Can you believe that? From the beginning, we're told that death is inevitable. But these species will make you think otherwise. When they get injured or ill, they revert to an early stage of their life cycle after reproducing. With this process, they become young and get new cells. This cycle never ends. Have you ever heard that an adult human transformed into a kid? No? Well, because that's not possible. Only the immortal jellyfish can do that. Isn't it hard to believe that there are species in this world who can do something like this? Number 1. Cockroaches. Well, isn't this surprising? Cockroaches. Yes, they can survive a nuclear war. How? Let me tell you. They can go on to live for weeks without their heads. Can humans do that? For us humans, our head is the most important part of our body. We will bleed to death if our heads are chopped off. Whereas cockroaches can't bleed. Their circulatory system is the open type, which means there's no blood pressure. The wounds can just close naturally because of clotting. We humans need our heads to breathe, eat, and for most of the other functions of our body. On the other hand, cockroaches don't breathe with help of their heads. There are small holes called spiracles on the body of cockroaches, which helps them in breathing. But they will die after some weeks due to starvation. These were all the deathless animals. If you liked the video, press the like button. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, everyone.